Welcome to Talking Heads on USA Global TV, starring the one and only wonderful Dr. JACALYN. It's a prestigious place where world-class influencers and experts meet, and where you'll find the most trusted advisors and coaches for all things in life and business. Visit usaglobaltv.com to sign up for our newsletter, get the value you need, and be first in line to learn about events and giveaways and other valuable content. Connect with us. Email Dr. JACALYN at usaglobaltv.com to talk about how you can become part of USA Global TV. That's USA Global TV, where the doctor is always in.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to USA Global TV and Radio. I'm Dr. JACALYN KERBECK, and our show today is presenting Pet Psychic Aminah. For those of you who are interested in speaking with the Reverend in the house, the Reverend is not in the house. The Reverend is away for the weekend, so we apologize. Reverend Corky Whitaker will be back with us in another time. If you'd like to send in your prayer requests via your comments on whatever social platform, we're happy to take them and share them with Reverend Corky and Reverend Dottie. Thank you. All right, drum roll, please, as I present Pet Psychic Aminah. Ta-da! I present you.
Like I have a magic act or confetti or something, but I'd have to clean it up.
That's not any fun, that's for sure.
That's what we have to do.
It's nice to see you.
You too. You look fabulous as always.
Thank you. This is actually, I hope I get the number right, show number 1234.
Wow. And every hour you have to change that.
Well, I didn't actually look at it until today. I thought, I wonder how many shows there are today. So I'm not going to do it every show. I just thought it was interesting to see.
That would be so amazing because you have so many different audiences. It would never get old and different hosts. So you would sound new each time. Just think.
Yes, there's that. I can definitely think about that as we go forward. I know that you are so passionate about coexisting all creatures in the world. And as I mentioned to you before, I'm so grateful to you for this because it's really changed the way that I've looked at things. Another example, there was a silverfish in my room and I saw it. I don't like silverfish. We talked about this before, what they're attracted to, what they like to eat. So I looked down, I said, I know you're here. I see you. You probably see me. Please do not go near my clothes. Do not go near the bed. I don't know where you're going. Don't be on the ceiling. So in the middle of the night, you fall down because I told you that happened. I had 2 on my pillow. And the thing disappeared. But in a past life, I would have killed it. I would have taken it and put it down the toilet or whatever I would have done with it. When I left Florida, there were 3 spiders in my bathroom. And one of them was right next to where my toothbrush was. And I just said, just stay where you are. And it did. So thank you.
Well, and it's giving us that confidence that says, okay, I understand you better. And where does this translate also? In human contact. If you can do that with the smallest of bugs, bees, ants, whatever you don't really like, then you can hopefully transfer that easier over to the people that you don't like. We're not supposed to like everybody. We're not supposed to be buddies with everybody. That's just not how the world works. It's like spices. I don't like chili powder. It's not my thing. Garlic is great. Salt is in there too, but I can do lemons, but not chili powder. I'm a big wussy with
that. That's a big no for you.
Yeah, it's just like, I like my tongue to still have feeling to eat what I'm supposed to eat.
So that it's not burnt. I just want to share with you.
Love it.
Yes, definitely. I went for a walk the other day and I thought of you, this turtle. It was about this big. It was black and it had a black shell and it was on the grass and it was going to go off into the road. And I was like, no, don't do it. Do not go there. So it went into the road and I really didn't know what to do. I wasn't wearing gloves. I didn't know if I should go pick it up. But what I did was there was a big truck coming and I just went like this, no, and I pointed to where the turtle was. So the guy got out of the truck and he had gloves on, but he didn't pick it up either. He just kind of gently pushed it with his foot. What's the proper thing to do with turtles?
Well, if you don't know what you're doing, picking them up, if God forbid you drop them, if you drop anybody, but remember they have a hard shell and their shell cracking is like you ripping part of your skin off. So it is dangerous. If you're not strong enough that it's too big, because think about it this way, they can't swap around and bite you. It's not a thing that they can do. Even the really long necked ones, their teeth are very flat. They're herbivores, so they're meant to not have, canines like we do. If you're not careful enough, or you're not capable, that's the word I'm looking for, to pick it up and just move it, because that's the fastest, boop, boop, and off it goes. But if it's way too big, or you, as you said, you don't have gloves or a way to wash your hands, then it was great that it flagged down the traffic to say, whoa, wait a minute, because that had been an hour, everybody waiting. And this gentleman knew, obviously, probably living in the area as far as the state or anything, and just said, hey, oh, here we go, we're going to move them. And that was great. You got the help you needed. Everybody survived that occasion, because the animals don't understand roads. And we do see so many killed, so many killed. And if he was of any qualified size, or a deer, we have a lot of deer around here, you could pay a price also, as far as more than just car damage. So not only do we lose a life, but you could lose your own.
And I was thinking to myself, that old joke, why did the chicken cross the road? I was thinking, why does the turtle cross the road? And I asked my sister, and she said maybe it was going to lay eggs. I don't know, because I was wondering, why would it leave the water?
Well, because they either can smell, or know there's more greenery the other way. We have so many, and the last time I was in any of the states that you have these turtles, they had greenery growing in, pots and things along the street. Some of them can reach those. So they will come for the food. They're coming for the food to come out of the water. They don't always need water. There's plenty of desert tortoises. I grew up with desert tortoises, and they're quite large, and they're just eating cactus and that type of items because the water that a cactus has. But, here's the old question, why'd they cross the road? Well, I didn't read their mind, so I don't know for sure. But the things would be food and safety, housing. So they're either going home, they're either getting some kind of food, or they think there's water or food on the other side. The great thing is, hopefully, you probably didn't stay long enough to see if he turned around and went back. That's the most frustrating thing. I actually have stayed to say, now, I got you off the road, don't come back. And I've had all kinds of animals come right back. And I'm like, dude, I'm trying to save your life here. And they obviously have a mission, or they're going towards their babies, or there's some driving force that supersedes them thinking, no, that's the straight away. Haven't you ever had a person? I had a lot of people from other countries visiting us all the time, because my parents did exchange families. And in the translation, to say, I want to go there, is what I thought they said. And they were like, no, something completely different. It's the same thing. They're speaking another language. I haven't learned all the turtle yet.
Well, I know one language that you can definitely speak is the canine. And I believe that's what this clip is. Do you want to just tee up the clip that we're going to show?
I'm going to leave it for everybody. Okay. If you haven't enjoyed YouTube, if you haven't enjoyed your channel and all the fun things you talk about and all the serious things, everything, there's so much out on YouTube, and our videos are out there too. So this found me, like always. It's literally probably about 30 seconds, maybe 37. And if you haven't done this, not you and I, if you dog owners, because there's a dog in this, just laugh with us, because it's so reality.
All right, let me share my screen.
And ironic, it's just like the turtle you brought up. We don't know. We don't know what we don't know. Wait till this owner finds out what he doesn't know.
All right, I'm going to share this screen. I'm going to make it full screen, and here we go.
There we go. And turn on the volume quick.
Pretty proud of it, I'd have to say.
It's his new fence.
Try to keep Stella in the art.
And here comes Stella. And bye. And he says, oh, shoot. And that dog just looked at it like, great, I get a higher place to jump. And that poor owner, I've watched it 3 or 4 times, and I just laugh every time, because it's our perception. I walked up the fence, I can't jump it. Did you see the breed of dog he's got? He might as well have a border collie. It's just like, yay, Dad. I was so excited.
Yeah, he was just thinking about as a human would think, as he would
Yeah,
think what
yeah.
he's
It's to my head. It should be tall enough. I'm thinking you don't know your breed very well or your personal dog.
So,
And
that brings up a really good point. We've talked about this before when people are looking to purchase dogs, and people will purchase dogs for all types of reasons without doing any research, without thinking that maybe this animal really needs to be loved, shown love, cared for, and may live 18, 20, however many years. So
yeah.
I love when you share these tips. If someone's looking to purchase a pet, specifically a dog, what considerations should they have before they make that purchase?
I'm going to go with what I would want everybody to look at before you adopt. I would love for you to think about what are your plans for the next 15 years. If you're getting a puppy, if you're getting an older dog, you can bring that years down. But you need to go into this relationship knowing that the lifespan is possibly 15 years. Depends on the breed, depends on the age of the dog, cat, lizard, whatever you adopt. Go in with their lifespan first. If you feel your life is stable enough and or you can move with the times, and that means you have a backyard for a dog, or you have a good inside for a cat, or you have the ability to manage a bird no matter how much they scream at you, on and on and on. Look at what you're adopting. Cats are going to sleep most of the day. If you're an independent person who really wants that time off and wants somebody to cuddle in your lap, great. Cat's great for you on those premises. If you want somebody to go for a walk with, go for a bicycle ride, throw a ball with, go play in the park, get you out of the house, that's a dog. So then you need to do the research on breeds, because even if you get a mixed breed dog, now they're going to be very, very independent of some of their breed traits. But what if they have those types of traits? If you're going to get a bull mastiff, giant, huge, heavy dog, hundreds of pounds, sweet nature, but they have a reputation of being a fighting breed. You're going to do that with quite a few, but that's not how the dog was put together. Now, they have been overbred, like a lot of the shepherds have, and the collies, and these types of things. I love the hybrid ones, as far as the ones that are all mixed up, because you'll not quite know what you're getting. Get the training, find a trainer, find somebody like me who you'll follow all my work as far as do this, try this, listen to your animal. Some will hate having their paws touched, but with dogs, you've got to trim those nails. So what I recommend, what we've talked about, touch their paws over and over and over when nothing is happening. What I did with my shepherds was when I was sitting down in the yard or relaxing or whatever, I just woman handle the paws. So it became not only I clip your feet. The sensation. If somebody's ticklish and all you do is put your arm on their side and they laugh, well, probably put your arm on their side a lot more and nothing happens. And that sensation will get less and less because it's like, oh, nothing happened. Oh, nothing happened. So I have had owners that yell constantly. It's like the way they talk. And their pets are so balanced and so easygoing because they can feel that there's no heat behind it. There's no danger behind it. And there's no corporal punishment behind it. It's just the way they talk. And I brought this up before. I had a client who his dog always talked about how smelly he was. I tried not to get too close to check out what I could smell, but he drank alcohol a lot, but he drank a lot of coffee and he took a great deal of medication. And the dog could smell it all, but the man was very good to him. And they'd been together for 15 years. So the dog was very old and was like, nah, He's mine. So these are the things you're going to be looking for with your lifestyle. Where are you going to live in the next 5 years? Where are you going to live in the next 10 years? A lot of people don't know, but at least have an idea that you can financially handle the medical, grooming, and care and training if you need it. There's so many great groups out on Meetup that just all meet in a park. And as long as your pet is well behaved, these owners can give you so much free advice. People love talking about their pets.
Great information you just shared, Amina. And you just touched on the fact that you're a trainer. And so a person purchases their pet, they get their dog, and they hire you for a trainer, they hire someone for a trainer. How long does this training take place? Is it a one time, I'll speak with you for an hour? Is it I'll meet with you every week? What does that look like?
And that's the packages you have to offer. Some people, for example, if I'm going to talk to somebody as a pet psychic, typically I'm going to talk to you one time. I have had clients that have ongoing issues, health with the animal, health with the people, health with, I know a mother-in-law that was living in, and so we spoke on a monthly, first every 2 weeks, and then we went monthly as she needed less support. But truly, she really needed the support. She was on her own with a dog she loved, and now a relative living in the home who wasn't crazy about the dog, but had other medical issues. So what happened in the long run, I'll get to the good part, is that dog became the grandmother's support animal via the daughter, because little by little, she educated her mom on how gracious and loving this dog was. And the dog took its time. I've got pictures and stories where the dog would sit out in the hallway of her bedroom because the mother was mostly bedridden. And it was really nice. Part of her therapy was to get a lazy boy chair so that she could sit up. And that's how they got her to start participating in the world again. So little by little, because a lazy boy, if you understand rockers, of course you and I do, and anybody's listening, they lay down. You could stretch them all the way out. So mom could fall asleep. She could have a tray next to her. She could eat. She could get up, go to the bathroom. When they finally got her ambulatory, she was able to do that. And what was really nice is the dog would sit outside the doorway. And the owner, the daughter, kept that kind of there. And then it became a comforting presence. And then the dog got a little closer and spent, 6 months in the middle of the room. And then 6 months, animals know when people are able to accept them. And animals know when you're in trouble. I have said this before, I'll say it again. If you are a woman or a man, breast cancer doesn't discriminate. And you have an animal come up and pester you on your leg, your thigh, your finger, your breast, I don't care where. If they really, really are adamant, like pulling your shirt, and they're not trying to pull you out to get a treat, because there's other reasons. One of them can be, it's time to go to the doctor. If they're really pawing at you and whining, and it's more of a stress response as opposed to happy, take me out for a walk, here's my leash. There is a different conversation. Animals save lives. They save people. A young girl I worked with had seizures, but they didn't know why. And all of a sudden she'd be walking down the street on cement and she'd collapse, completely unconscious, and she really dug up a lot of her skin. They got her a dog, and the dog would pull on her clothes to make her sit down. And this saved her so many hospital trips. And animals don't need a lot of training to do that. It is great. They have an entire world of seeing eye dogs with all kinds of amazing skills. But they also have them for people who are elderly and people who have skin disorders, or they need to stay out of the sun, or they need to be warned that they're getting lightheaded. I always had low blood pressure my whole life. So if I stood up too fast, the whole room moves around. But I knew that, so I had to get up pretty slow. If you have something that is life-threatening, as that could have gone if I hadn't had it managed, one of my animals would have done it. You can train cats to do it. They're a little bit more independent. You get into some of the Manx and the other ones that are more like dogs than cats. It can be trained, and especially when you build that relationship with them. The Sinai community, these animals are highly trained by wonderful people, and they're, as puppies, socialized by sleeping in a bedroom and sleeping around people and understand the movement. Remember, a dog is a pack animal. They're very interested in being with their family. That's another reason why they're great therapy dogs, great service animals.
Fabulous information, Aminah. Thank you so much. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, I want to have us move into a discussion that is really important because it's coming up again here in the United States, and that's festivities that involve fireworks. And our furry friends do not like fireworks, so we're going to have a chat about that in just a moment. How's that sound?
Perfect.
All right. Thanks so much. Stay with us as we watch some of our sponsorships. Thank you.
Hello, boys and girls, and welcome to Story Garden. Your host, Diane Boehm. I'm so happy to have you here today.
Diane Floyd Boehm tells wonderful stories that warm the heart, spark the imagination, and unite people and families across generations. For children, Diane's Harry the Camel connects with all of us who've ever wondered how different our lives might have been if only we'd been born something better, like a wonderful horse instead of an ordinary camel. In the end, we all learn along with Harry that there's nothing better than just being yourself. Diane's Little Girl in the Moon looks down on earthbound children and wonders if they know she's just like them. A story of love, home, and the bond between mother and daughter, its powerful theme that we're each of us different yet all of us the same plants a seed in children that promises to blossom within a loving and trusting grown-up. Diane's new biography, Rise, recounts the experiences of her grandmother, Ruby, to reveal the hidden strength of the human spirit. Ruby's story inspires all of us to become the best versions of ourselves. You'll find all of Diane's delightful books and much more at DianeFloydBoehm.com. Visit DianeFloydBoehm.com. That's DianeFloydBoehm.com.
control. Feel the sweet desire, let the music start to free your soul. Feel the step and fire moving up and down out of control. Feel the sweet desire, let the music start to free your soul. Feel the step and fire moving up and down and out of control. Feel the sweet desire, let the music start to free your soul. Feel the step and fire moving up and down out of control. Feel the sweet desire, let the music free your soul.
Hello, everyone. Are you out of control when it comes to buying fireworks and you live with pets? I don't know. We need to talk about it with pet psychic Aminah. Welcome back.
Wow, what a great intro. And I get this conversation going every year, and I've already started all the posts because you got to plan ahead for your pets. And you know, if they have already lived through a 4th of July, that this can be everything from just heartbreakingly sad as far as how traumatized and how, if you've ever seen your pet shake from anxiety or fear or something, it's absolutely heart-wrenching. I mean, you're nodding your head also, Dr. JACALYN. It's just hard, just when they're that frightened. And the smaller breeds, you know, have a lot of that. So the bigger ones can do it too. There's a bunch of big wussy bull mastiffs out there somewhere. But what's hard about fireworks is there's no rhyme or reason. They're not set off every 3 minutes. They have no time on them, and it randomly happens as far as animals are concerned. All of a sudden, they're just enjoying their day, and the night gets dark, and all of a sudden, we've got thousands and thousands of popping and cracking. And if they can see outside, and they are outside, they're going to see all the colors, and they don't think that's beautiful. They don't think that's wonderful. They just see, oh my gosh, and who's going to kill me? And what danger am I in? It is catastrophic. We hear every year, the police, fire department, us who work with animals, and the shelters, they're on overtime already with the pandemic and many other things where people are not able to take care of their pets, and they're overrun. And then all of a sudden they're inundated with lost pets because they've run off. They're terrified. Can you imagine if we understand what a gun is? Not a lot of us get to hear those. So if somebody's all of a sudden shooting by you, and I have to say, I've had this happen. One of my neighbors thought that the neighborhood was a great place to have a shooting range in their backyard. It was terrible. And they go through the fence. They go through and they will hit somebody. I actually had this happen with a cousin of mine. We were shooting off things into a fence thinking no big deal. Well, it went right through and nicked somebody in the arm. Luckily, I wasn't holding the gun, but I sure learned a lot. Fireworks are the same. You need to plan ahead. Big dog, little dog, whatever it is, you need to be their support. Be really calm. Don't take them to a fireworks display. They might be great in the moment and they might freak out later. They could run away in the moment, and I don't even know how you'd get them back. Make sure your animals are chipped. If you have not had a microchip put in, it goes right behind their shoulders in between. And it's so simple. You just got to keep the information current. If you've moved, if you've changed your phone number, your email, any of that, please, please get a hold of the company that you have them chipped with and update your information. So the first issue is get them chipped. Make sure that your animal can be found. All the shelters, all the pounds, all the people that walk around and pick up lost animals, they have the equipment now to read those immediately. So they can either get it straight back to your home, contact you later. If there's an injury, of course, they're going to do what they can to stabilize the animal. It's so, so, so important. And you think, oh, my animal's in full time, doesn't need to be chipped. You should, because in a fireworks situation or an emergency in your own house, let's say you have a fire in your own house and you've got firemen coming and going, and your animal gets out. And you thought, oh, it'll never happen. And then it does. It never happens till it does. So get your animals chipped. If you're adopting from the shelters and those types of rescue places, they are typically, I haven't seen anybody lately that isn't microchipping on adoption. And you fill out that paperwork. But again, keep it current. Keep your phone number current. Keep your address current. This is life and death for your pet. If you want them back, this is the easiest way. I've seen people argue about a really beautiful dog. I don't even remember the breed anymore. And two people showed up saying they were the owner. And the one that took it home is the one that could give the old phone number and the new phone number or address because it was on their paperwork historically. You have to think about these things. I'm sorry, it's the world we're in.
No, you're right on. You're smart. I have a question that is an offshoot from fireworks. What about thunder? We've heard of these thunder coats or thunder jackets.
Thunder jackets. Yep.
Jackets.
Thunder jacket.
So do dogs have the same reaction to fireworks as to thunder?
No, the fireworks are worse. The fireworks are like tenfold because they do that pop when they set it off, and then it goes, I mean, there's like, and then there's rainbows going by and more colors going. They're so amazing now. Not for an animal. For us, we understand what they are, but they get that one launch. And remember when we were kids, that was it. And then one more went up and it was over. And then, 15 minutes, half hour later, they were all out of fireworks. And now they're images and their scenes, and they keep getting released. So they come up with one, and then another one, and another one, from the one shoot, and then it cascades into all these. I mean, if you've been to any of the parks, what is it, Disney World or Magic Mountain or any of the places, they're going to shoot off fireworks all year long, on their parades and that type of stuff. Imagine if you were, I don't know, if you were that dog or you were that cat or a small child, and that was just like, what the heck is that? What an animal interprets it is as danger, because I'm sorry, it does sound like a gun. And it's not that they're aware of what guns sound like, but a gun makes that noise, hopefully to keep people away when after you shoot them, it's a deterrent. I can't imagine why you wouldn't shoot a gun if you wanted to deter somebody. So fireworks are looked at by these animals the same way. Danger. That's what's in the mind. Danger. So if you can walk that path with them with compassion, a great deal of compassion, and not say, because I've actually had owners do this, oh, just buck up and get used to it. I've actually talked to the vets who've had animals have a heart attack and die from the stress. Animals are all different kinds of abilities to tolerate things, same as us. One person might think cigarette smoke, they walk by, no big deal. My grandmother smoked when I was little, whatever the reason is. Another one will be, oh, that is so annoying. And another one will be, that makes me physically ill. And I, they can gag or throw up, or fireworks are the same as anything else. It's personal how bad it is. You need to be the rock again. You're the pack leader. You're in charge of your kitties and everything to keep them safe. So I've seen everything from cat TV put on extra loud in the house, and it doesn't die out all the noise, but that means you're sitting there and you guys are doing something fun or cuddling. And I would say get out of town, but it's the United States. That's really hard to do when their fireworks is like every other town that you go to. Even if you go to the beach, sadly, people have brought fireworks to the beach, even though a lot of times it's illegal. And then you got your dog where you thought you'd be in a safe place to look at them from a distance where the popping wouldn't be so much. And that hasn't been. What I suggest, and a lot of the vets do now, if you really, really, really have a life and death situation, go to your vet, get a medication. That's for really life and death serious stuff. I don't recommend ever medicating your pet against something that you don't really have to. That's why we're talking about training. That's why we're talking about you as your support and your love, but you've got to be calm and quiet. You've got to be that loving. What we really stress is keep your pets indoors. That can be a garage that locks up, and they have you can put a bunch of boxes and pillows together so they have like a cave and a den to go to so they feel safe. And you can go out there and be with them, or you just make that safe space under a tool bench, and you make pillows and you make boxes, something where because remember, a wolf is going to live in a cave, in a hole somewhere, have their babies, and then come out. This is not caging them up. You can, if you need to put them in a carrier, get a bigger carrier, get the pillows, get all of that. Water's great. Food should not be necessary. You don't want them choking on it. Let's say they take a bite of just kibble, dry kibble, and then the fireworks start and they choke on it. And you don't happen to be there, or no CPR. There is CPR for animals. So I recommend, yes, sure, water is essential to all of it. It tends to calm them down. Even a popsicle in there, not a lot of sugar, but something that makes it cool. Little ice cubes. I've seen people make little ice cubes with some kind of treat in the middle for the dogs and the cats. That does, but make it like a cave, and you can blanket over the carrier and just keep it dark and quiet if you can't stay with them because you're going to go to the fireworks. But it has to be somewhere safe, secure, and confined. I just can't stress that enough. If you want to lose a pet and you just leave them walking around the house, you do risk them scratching the door open. And you've ever had dogs, they really can go at it, or breaking a window to get out. And then you've got glass, who knows where, on their body and everywhere. So please, please, please keep your pets indoors, at least for this one night. Sadly, some neighborhoods get going early, and that's something we had to deal with in our last place. They did them all year long. Luckily, I didn't have a dog issue, and our cats just ignored it after the first year. Please be safe. We lose more animals, and there's so many in the shelters the day after 4th of July.
Frightening information, but really good tips for our audience, for our listeners, and for our viewers. And Aminah, for people who are looking to hire you as a pet psychic or a trainer, you're also a speaker. What can you share with them about the best way to work with you?
The neat thing is, just like what we're doing, I speak all over the world. I'm really, really, really fortunate to have clients also all over the world. My gift as an empath and a pet psychic, yes, I am a general psychic, but I do just the pet side for anybody. And no, I don't remind that. That would be creepy for me. I don't want to know what you're thinking, but it's your permission. I can do a phone call from anywhere. My farthest client currently that I see on a regular basis is in Spain. and she has been there since pandemic. So I am very, very lucky to have helped her adopt 2 new pets. And I've worked with her dog for a long time. He has paw problems. And so that's why it's such a long-term relationship. Some people just need one conversation and then we're done. And some people need help. I'm always trying to be as honest as I can. You know, Dr. JACALYN, the hardest thing I do is lost pets. For me personally and my gift, the people and the animals are so stressed out. I am still learning every day and every pet what calms everybody down for that conversation of come get me, come get me, come get me. How can I be here? My most treasured lost pet was Dottie, the pastor that comes and talks here. She has had a friend and a client, and he got his dog stolen out of his truck while he was on a construction job. Now, first of all, the dog shouldn't have been in the truck, but again, he was just dropping off tools. And his very designer little bitty dog, and this man is probably 6'5", 300 pounds, and it was just an amazing, amazing relationship between them. And somebody saw him leave the truck to go deliver some tools, and they came over and he didn't lock all the doors, and they stole the dog. And he called me and we worked on that. And because of the bond with the dog, I couldn't get their dog to bark for us, because usually I can get them to bark from where they are. And they want dad, they want dad, they want dad. The hard part was puppy was so sure dad was coming. He just let this lady feed him and feed her, and she was a her, and pet her. And she said, yeah, dad's coming. I said, yes, I know dad's coming, but you've got to help us out here. So we got down to the apartment and the size. Those are the things you want to keep your pet safe from, is make sure they're safe in the car and not overheated. Make sure they're safe with fireworks. Make sure they're safe with the food they're eating. You can't leave them alone. You can't always leave them alone. You got to make sure that if you're going to feed bones, that you're there. Chicken bones, never, ever. They shard everywhere, and you're looking at a very expensive vet bill, especially if it gets implanted in their teeth. So there's things they can eat. The marrow is very good for them, as well as for our own bones. But pick a cattle bone or something like a bison bone, not chicken. Chicken meat is fine, and it's great when they're sick. It's easy to digest, but not the bones. Never the bones. The same thing with the fireworks. We don't know what we don't know, and I'm learning every single day. There's more things. Why do your dogs eat grass? A lot of times it's so they can throw up, and that's not a bad thing. Maybe they've licked themselves and they've got too much hair on their stomach. This is how they do it. When is it time to go to a vet? That's the next question. Watching your symptoms. When you're close to your pets, and Dr. JACALYN, you've talked about this a lot with your puppies. You got to see the difference, didn't you? Their ears didn't come up as fast. They didn't wag their tail. They didn't come out to greet you. Something that anybody else who didn't know your animal was small. Something changed. They didn't come out when you got home from work. Something changes. Pay attention. That's a big sign in animal world that not all is well. Not all is well.
Once again, Aminah, tons of valuable information. I really do appreciate it. Another great show. And people can reach out to you on your website, which is bridgingworlds.us. And for our new radio channels, it's bridging, BRIDGING, WORLDS.US. And your Facebook is?
Bridging Worlds. And there I love animals, so it's funny. It's educational, but it's funny, and it's funny because they're animals. So I want to see your pictures. I want to hear your stories. I love it when people share that they took their dog out in the rain and they rolled in the mud and they had a great time. And then they walked in the house to go towel him off. And of course, they shook all over the place. They had to towel off the entire living room. It's just like, because we all look at ourselves and go, okay, that's on me. because you knew they were going to shake, but you get in a hurry, and we get to laugh about these moments of growth. And we, as some of you know, we added a new kitty this year as a rescue stray, and there's so many stories to say how she has changed our life for the better. So it might be work, it might be a trial, but look at what you'll gain. And it's the same thing, Dr. JACALYN, is what you've done. All the work you've done on this platform, it might have been hard and it might have been a lot of work. And I know 99.9% of it, you've done it all by the sweat of your own brow. But look how much you have offered to everybody else for free to see and learn and touch. And I honor you for that, because it's the same thing. It's the same thing of caring about everybody learning more, because we can all do better when we know.
Thank you, Aminah. I appreciate the support, and I appreciate your professionalism and having you on this platform. Let's see what show number this is. Hold on. I'm going to look it up right here. Show number 70. So 70 with a smile. And I wish you a beautiful weekend. I look forward to seeing you next week.
Absolutely. Be safe out there.
All right.
Don't
Thanks.
eat any bugs.
You too. Take care. Bye for now.
Okay, bye.
Bye. Well, my friends, we've come to the next ending of a week here at USA Global TV and Radio. I'm always shocked by how quickly it goes by, and I'm very grateful that we were able to make the trip from Florida and set up the studio in New Jersey. We did have some transmission problems. I think it was on Wednesday. So if you're watching, my apologies. Everything's been straightened out. There's a lot of equipment and cables and wires that have to be connected. Of course, as we stream to more platforms, it's more involved, but it's all working fine now. So as we close out, I just want to share with you about some of our new programs that you may not be aware of, and some programs that we've had for a while. I'm not going to run through all of them, but just to give you an idea of the offerings that we have here. So obviously this is our show for today with Aminah. We also have our show, The United Kitchens, with Ricky McKenna. We have Adversity to Awesome. That's my book that I just published about a month ago, but it's also a TV show. And of course, I bring this up in case you want to be guests on any of these shows. We have The Power of Etiquette and Manners, Authentic Achievements. This is with Kim Adele Randall. And of course, Etiquette and Manners is with Philip Sykes. We also have a brand new show, Aging Gracefully with Humor. And this show is with Kathy Fulton. We also have our Talking Heads panel. This is coming up, I think, next week. We have a Talking Heads panel once a month, and that features some of our members from our experts, panelists on Talking Heads. We have The Wise Ones. This is a show I do with Red O'Laughlin. And we have The Corner Bookstore. My co-host for this one is Diane Floyd-Bain. We have The Business Talk Show, and my co-host for this is Mr. Al Cini. And we have The Listening Mentor, which is a show that I host myself, and I have a guest who joins us on a regular basis, Caroline Heward. We also have a new show coming up. It's The Christianity Show, and we'll be talking really about spirituality. And we have What's Trending with Kathy Fulton. We also have Leadership of the Heart with Mariska Duprier. And we have The United Kingdom, News and Culture. And this one is also with Diane Floyd-Bain and our expert correspondents. If you are interested in all what's going on with the royal family, two of our expert correspondents are actually royal commentators for the British royal family, Helena Shard and Ian Pelham-Turner, and they actually covered the Platinum Jubilee. And we have clips of their coverage, which is really amazing that they are working with us, and they've been with us for over a year. Another new show is Global Homes and Gardens. This is open to everyone. If you'd like to walk us through your home, you'd like to walk us through your garden, or you have something to do in your profession that has to do with homes or gardens, maybe you're a landscaper, maybe you're a decorator, maybe you're a chef and you like to cook in your home, go over and join our show, Global Homes and Gardens. Again, open to everyone. The Film and Music Show. This one I do with Madeline Chan, and we have a lot of fun. Madeline just loves to laugh, and she's really an incredibly talented woman. And they're all the shows that I have to share with you right now, except one of our newest ones. This is really exciting. This is Wild at Heart, Bonfire Talks, a show by men, for men, about men. This is the first show on this platform that is hosted and moderated without me. Roland Friedel, one of our team members, I trust him exclusively. He actually put together a panel of 6 men, and I think we're on episode 3 this week. So if you're interested, if you're a guy and you want to just hear other guys sharing and you want to share also, you could be a guest on that show. We also have a show for women, by women, about women, and I don't know where my graphic is, but I will find it. And then lastly, I just wanted to talk about this very quickly. We have a new game show that is coming out, the first game show that we have on this platform. This is for people whom I've certified as elevated listeners and members of our elevated listening community. It's open to everyone. Yes, attention. It's open to you, whoever you are watching or listening. What do you have to do? Get certified as an elevated listener. How do you do that? You get the course off my website, drjacalyn.com. You actually get a link and you can watch the course at your leisure. It's 2.5 hours long. Why should you do this? Because listening skills are imperative to have deeper connections, better relationships, and more authentic conversations. You out there who think you are an excellent listener, what does your family have to say? What do your friends have to say? What do your colleagues have to say? Find out. Take my course, rate yourself from the beginning, and then by the end, see how well you've done. Again, it's a 2.5 hour commitment. It's $257. And my mission personally and professionally as the listening mentor on Dr. JACALYN is to convert as many people to elevated listeners as I can. Why? Because I'm greedy and I want to get rich? No, I don't think so. I'm not going to get rich off of $257. It's because I really believe that when we listen without judgment, without providing solutions, without interrupting, and without stage hogging, we have more inner peace. And if each and every one of us in this world had more inner peace, think about what this world would look like instead of what it does look like. So my call of action to you is to go over and sign up for the Power of Listening. This is the course right here. The Power of Listening, Foundational Courses, Parts 1 and 2, 2.5 hours. That's it. Not 2 weeks, not 2 months, not 2 years. 2.5 hours to watch role plays. And then you get a quiz, 7-question quiz. And when you get all 7 answers correct, you become certified and you will have a certificate posted on social media. You'll also be featured on my website, drjacalyn.com, with your headshot and your certificate. And you'll be a team member at USA Global TV and radio. We would love to have you. All right. Thank you so much as I sign off from my 1234th episode on this platform. It is my pleasure and my honor to be able to bring this broadcasting to you. If you'd like to be a sponsor for any of our shows, if you'd like to be a guest on any of our shows, if you have a great idea to have your own show that has nothing to do with USA Global TV or that does, please reach out to me. You can find my information on both of my websites, usaglobaltv.com, drjacalyn.com. I'm all over social media as Dr. JACALYN, JACALYN KERBECK, USA Global TV, the listening mentor. You can find me everywhere. And when you can't find me there, I'm behind the green screen. All right. Thank you. Have a beautiful weekend. And please do take care of yourself. Be kind to one another. And do come back next week. Bye.